Amazing audience, we are live. I think we are about a bit out of frame with Fabiana. There we go, there she is. We are live with Fabiana, Elisa, Martínez. You're real, nice to meet you.
Yes, I exist and you too. I'm so happy to meet you in person.
I am as well. Now, you speak a ton of languages, one.
Some, yes,
Some
languages.
And I was so fascinated by your twang, I guess, twang as much as you speak, yeah?
Really?
I think so, yeah. Probably the Portuguese side.
Well, maybe, or Spanish, or the Italian, or a little French.
And then we spoke about this. Well, you know, this caught my attention because it's 12, right?
It's 12,
yeah, like
so we are connected.
We are definitely connected. You have 3 of these now.
We have 3, yes. We have 3 books, and the title is 12 Random Words.
Right.
But each one of them is a different version of the same collection of short stories in English. It's 12 stories, but each book is bilingual. So the first one is English-Spanish, the second one is English-French, and the third one that came out a couple of weeks ago is English and Portuguese.
So
yes.
It's first, then second,
yes,
and then third. I love the colors.
Thank you.
Who chose the colors?
Well, that was my star designer, Rob Wilson, which is an amazing artist from Dallas, but he does illustrations all over the world, including for the Wall Street Journal. So look how lucky I am that I have such a beautiful cover, and it was amazing working with him.
That's great. What else is the update? What's new? What's going on?
Well, you know, it's interesting because when someone asks me what's new, I say, well, my life doesn't really have a lot of new things, but more nuances of the same old things that I always loved. So what do I love? I love languages, I love literature, I love theater, cats, coffee, and chocolate. so if any aspect of my life includes one of those elements, I'm absolutely happy.
How many cats do you have?
I have 1, 2. I used to have 2.
Right.
I have 1. It's a 15-year-old called Philidor.
Right.
And he makes my life more beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful. Cats, coffee, and chocolate. I love that. And
Yeah.
I love how you said
you can add wine, but yeah.
Wine every day or sometimes?
Well, it depends. No, sometimes
Okay.
coffee every day.
Okay.
But yeah, many times a day.
The coffee is great. Yeah, I'll tell you that. So we're at Venture X, folks, right? Venture X Galleria. Yeah, you should try the coffee.
Oh, it's great. It's a great venue.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, one of the segments we cover is your own unique real shoes.
Oh, okay.
Please do tell me about some of the types of shoes you wore from 1 to 12, ages 1 to 12.
Oh, I wore different kinds of shoes. I didn't wear shoes, you know, with high heels. Then when I discovered them, I said, okay, this is for me.
So 1 to 12, you were wearing what?
I was wearing mostly shoes that were very simple with a little stripe and a little button because those were the shoes required in school. And I thought they were quite elegant, you know, and they were kind of Audrey Hepburn shoes.
Right.
I love them. I didn't like that much to wear tennis shoes. I didn't find them very elegant. And I'm not the sporty type, so.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly those type of, you know, ballerinas or that type of shoes.
Were you wearing those here in the U.S. or out of the
U.S.?
No,
when I was 12, I wasn't living here in the States. I was living in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where I was born. So I came to the States much later, and I was wearing high heels then.
All right. Yeah. So 12 to 24, what are you wearing then?
Then, you know, well, I became a teenager. I discovered that I could wear high heels, and I assumed I was wearing mostly high heels, even when I had to walk all over the place in Buenos Aires. So that was a great exercise. My calf was very strong. And yeah, that was, what I used to wear because, you know, I'm not that tall, so that helps a lot. And I know there are a lot of people, you know, going against high heels, etc., but I like them. I feel they make me, they make me feel more beautiful, so why not?
Yeah, go for it. What about after 24? High heels, you continue with the high heels?
Yeah, they're,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's showing
Yeah,
you.
I'm like heel, like, see. So, yeah, I didn't change. I told you, I didn't change that much.
Yeah, you kept
I'm
it
still
consistent.
that little, I'm still that little girl when I was 12. Yes.
That's amazing. When you look back to then to
Yes.
now, do you have any regrets?
No. Why am I going to waste my time regretting of things that taught me something? No, I would live exactly the same with the open heart. I go there with the open heart.
Tell us about what 12 Random Words does.
What 12 Random Words was the result of a dream that came true, that came at a time of my life that evidently, I was ready to fulfill that dream, and I didn't know really. I started writing for a literary group, short stories. I could have written whatever I wanted, but I decided to write fiction. The stories were very well received, and then I thought, well, I should put them together and try to publish a book. And then, because of my love for languages, I decided, well, if I'm going to publish a book of short stories that I wrote originally in my second language, I should at least translate them into my first language, which is a very, very strange process, because usually when you translate, you go from the
English.
You go to the process is the opposite of what I did. You don't write in your second and translate into your first.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting adventure, and the book was well received. And then, talking with other people and translators, I decided, well, why don't I have a good version of the stories in French? And that's why I worked with two wonderful translators, and I was supervising. And then last year I worked with a great Portuguese translator, Adriana Prado, and she helped me with the translation into Portuguese. So it has been a great adventure to rediscover these short stories in different languages.
What are you most excited about right now?
Okay, I'm trying to write another book, which is a novel. And for that, I'm going to the places where the novel takes place. So I need to go and do my research.
Yeah.
So that's the new big dream.
Right.
It is a much bigger dream because, writing short stories is more limited. You can write a short story in a very short amount of time. But the novel is such a different product and such a more complex literary product.
Like speaking multiple languages, right?
Well, of course, in the one of the characters in the novel speaks many languages,
right.
and of course, because I couldn't avoid that aspect of my life. But then, other things that make me dream right now are, my company, to run a translation company, an interpretation company, and I continue teaching languages, mostly Spanish, because that is what, people need in Dallas. But I have helped other people with French or with Portuguese. So that is such a source of learning for me. So people think that I'm teaching all day, and technically I am, but I really am learning more from my students.
Yeah, that's great. When you heard that this guy from the Caribbean was coming to see you face to face, what did you think? This
is amazing what technology produces. And, sometimes social media is so criticized and put down. And I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't have met a lot of wonderful people, clients, friends, acquaintances, and even people who wanted to know me for what they saw in social media. And you are a big example of that. And that video that will reach, we don't know how many people. It's a beautiful example of a tool that it's being well used.
Yes.
So I love social media because it allows me to reach and meet people that I wouldn't have been able to meet before.
Okay.
And I'm convinced that it really creates a connection that, of course, is not physical, but we can see when we have things in common.
Exactly.
And that happens, when we had our first interview.
It was great.
It was. And I remember, I got your email, I remember the first time, and I was like, okay, let's see who he is. And then I had that feeling, that gut feeling, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
And look, here we are.
Here we are today in Dallas. Yeah, love it. Well, my friend, this has been a great pleasure. We will continue the conversation, but before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, it's an honor for me to be here with Angel and to share this with you, share my passions with you. I just, I would tell people, just follow your dreams, read a lot, have coffee if you like it, have a cat if you like cats.
Coffee or chocolate.
But read a lot, and if you didn't have the experience of learning a new language is like a new passport, and it will take you to places that you cannot imagine. So that would be my little piece of advice.
She said that on the podcast. She's very consistent. She said that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Fabiana, Elisa, Martínez, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much.
Boom, did you have fun?
Yes!